Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills have officially released their official depth chart. What does it mean? We've got position battles left, right, center. We've got things to talk about. Join me right now. It's the Buffalo Fanatics. It's the Rico Report. See you in a second. Let's go. The Rico Report brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics. Let's go. Welcome. We've got things to talk about, baby. Let's go. We've got the depth chart. It's been put out there. There's things that we knew what were going to happen, and there are things that are still unanswered, right? Cornerback 2 position, unanswered. Middle linebacker position, unanswered. But there is one answer, though. The right guard position, and that is the battle between Mr. Osiris Torrance and our guy, Ricky Bates, right? But before we get into all that, welcome to new viewers. Welcome to old viewers and those that have been supporting us. Smash that like while you guys get in the room real quick. Show some love. And if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It's very simple. If you want to support the Buffalo Fanatics, support bf.com. That's it, man. It's really that simple. And we go from there, folks. So let's get right into the nitty-gritty. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty, man. Listen, we're at what? Less than a week away from our first preseason game. And I gotta show some love before we get into Bills talk. I gotta show some love to coach of the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel. And if you're not aware of why I'm showing some love to Mike Vrabel, let me tell you this, man. Let's be real. When you look at the coaching around the NFL, and it's been an ongoing battle for decades, right? And it's gotten better, it's improved, but it still needs vast improvement. And that's the coaching hires of the minority, the black coaches. Not many out there, right? Less than a handful of head coaches that are out there, and there are 32 jobs out there. And in order to get an opportunity, you've got to be given an opportunity. And what I love about what Coach Vrabel has done, and he's given an opportunity to one of his coach, I believe is Tyrell Williams, I want to say. And he's given one of his coaches an opportunity to be the head coach for the first preseason game. That is how you become a leader. That's how you lead your guys. You want to show love to your coaches. You want to show love because if they go and get interviewed for these jobs, it's a recycling. They keep recycling the same old coaches to these jobs, or it's about who you know. So you know what? You're going to gain some experience by coaching your first preseason game. It's not like he's washing his hands of the position. Mike Vrabel is going to be there, but he's giving his coach the reins. I absolutely love that. That is how you become a leader. That's a big lead. That's a big step. So listen, I love it. You guys are saying my audio is off. I hope it's everything is good to go. But anyways, I'm loving every bit of it. And kudos to Coach Vrabel for such a fine move. I mean, listen, McDermott gives me the impression that he's that type of guy. He's the type of person that would kind of take a seat and then let his coach. I mean, I'd love to see Eric Washington take over and see what Eric Washington can do. That would be dope, right? So let's go. My man James Massey's asked me, why am I wearing a Cubs hat? There's more sentimental value to the Cubs hat. If you look at the back here, it says Ottawa, right? And you're gonna be like, yo, why does it say Ottawa? Well, it's there's sentimental value to the hat. So really, it's really nothing to do with this. It's about who gave it to me and what it means. But anyway, we'll move on from that. But anyway, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. The depth chart is out. Are you shocked by the depth chart? Are you like, this is exactly what I expected? Well, let's dive into it. Let's dive into the offensive side of the depth chart. Let me just put this up there so we're nice and clear, so we know exactly what's going on. So here's the offensive side of the depth chart, folks. I mean, if you think about it and you look at what we see here, nothing's changed. Josh Allen is your clear-cut number one quarterback, and followed by Kyle Allen and then Matt Barkley. Those two, honestly, if you think about it, they're interchangeable, really. Kyle Allen having the edge. I guess youth does the trick. He's got some experience behind him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Barkley was like, you know what, I'm taking over that second spot. But that's not what Matt Barkley's here for. So Kyle Allen will take the reins as the QB2. I mean, there's really not much to talk about. Josh Allen is that guy. He will always remain that guy. And we depend on 17 to lead us to a Super Bowl. I mean, that's the goal, right? That's always the goal. But let's move to the running back room. So James Cook takes the helm, which we all knew was going to happen. Now, middle of the season, I think I feel that things are going to change. Things will change. I think the touches will then eventually start to even out, and then Damian Harris will then become our clear-cut number one. Now, I hope I'm wrong. If James Cook, the guy that we drafted in the second round, comes in and shows that he's proven he's that guy to take over, I'm with it. I'm all the way with it. But I don't know. I think his frame and the vigors of the NFL, and once those cold months start to appear, we will find out. But then you go back and look at the Bears game when it was brick. It was brick cold out there in Chicago, and my man was doing his thing. So maybe that goes out the window. Maybe he is that guy, and this is going to be an opportunity for him to prove himself that he can, take on the 10, 15, maybe 20 touches a game. Highly doubtful, But if he makes the most of his touches, we're laughing. I mean, we're in a great position. So RB1 as of right now is James Cook, followed by Damian Harris, and then Latavius Murray. All right. So we've got Darrington Evans, obviously, as the depth pieces. And then you've got Jordan Mims out there. Now, don't forget, we got our fullback, Reggie Gilliam, our guy Sledge. So special teams ace, can play tight end. He's a pretty much do-it-all type of player. So Reggie Gilliam doing his thing. And I got to say, man, I loved every bit of it. And when I interviewed Reggie Gilliam for the first time, and I told him, Pat DeMarco's on the squad, and Pat DeMarco is a well-respected player, but I think that you present more for this team, and I think that you're going to unseat him. And no. And sure enough, what are we going to year 3 now? So shout out to my man Reggie Gilliam. You're doing your damn thing. Let's keep it pushing, right? Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. And this is what's I'm curious and I'm interested in this, right? Because we know who our starters are. Deion Dawkins at the left tackle is one of the better left tackles in the game, top left tackles in the game. And then you got Connor McGovern. We haven't really heard much about Connor McGovern and how he's really doing in camp. If you really go out there and you peruse and look at all the articles, there's not a whole lot. I went looking, I was like, okay, he's just a clear-cut starter and lock in, but there's not really much depth in knowing like how he's doing and so on and so forth, right? I'd love to see more and know more about what's going on, but we'll soon find out once preseason hits and how many snaps he gets. But I'm curious to see what the great things that are happening with Connor McGovern and on the left side of the line. But they like him enough that he's still there. So Connor McGovern will hold it down at left guard alongside Deion Dawkins. And then we've got the old reliable Mitch Morse. And then we bring that over to our starting right guard, Ryan Bates. And then we've got Spencer Brown at the right tackle spot. And our guy, Dawson Knox, starting at tight end. But, you know good and well, you and I both know good and well that Dawson Knox is obviously tight end, but then Kincaid is tight end / receiver. He's like your Darren Waller type of player where you can kind of split him out wide. He's like the light version of Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham was a bigger boy, so you can actually put him in line, but you could put him outside and put him out wide. And I remember when Jimmy Graham was fighting to get a contract, he was like, quit trying to pay me like a tight end because I do a lot of receiver things. You guys throw me out to the wide and you guys got me doing jump balls and all that stuff. Well, pay me like that. And ever since that contract was put out there, you know what I'm saying, you're starting to see a lot more versatile tight ends that are able to do the things that Kincaid will do for the Bills. And I know a lot of folks, you know what I'm saying, the analysts and the fantasy cats that are out there are talking about, do not, depend on these rookie tight ends. They don't produce. It's just what it is. Over time, they will. But I beg to differ. I think that we're going to see a lot of production out of Kincaid early this season. And I'm not mincing my words. I think it's just going to happen. We didn't draft this brother in tight end at that. A tight end at that. We didn't draft this brother just to, what I'm saying, look cute on the sideline, man. We're gonna get you out there, we're gonna get the football to you, and we're gonna make you work. You know what I'm saying? Like you're part of this, you're a key piece to moving this offense, to doing what we need to do, to getting the creativity. Don't forget, we brought in OJ Howard last year, and we probably had more, we probably had plans for OJ. You know what I'm saying? We had plans for OJ, but it just didn't quite work out. My man didn't even make the cuts, and he was out of here. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Kincaid is what we needed to really propel this offense to what Ken Dorsey really wants to do. So will we get the Ken Dorsey that we all anticipated last year? And he puts it together because there's one piece that he's able to kind of move around and manipulate defenses. We shall see. We shall see. I'm very much looking forward to it. So back to the O-line, we've got the depth pieces. We've got Tommy Doyle that's been beaten like a drum in camp, but he's also coming off a big-time injury, so you can't fault him too much. We've got former Rams guard David Edwards as depth piece. That's a great depth piece, by the way. Greg Mance. Then we've got the rookie Osiris Torrance that's going to be backing up Ryan Bates, and Brandon Shell, tackle Brandon Shell. Now, here's the good thing about Osiris Torrance, the fact that we stole him and got him in the second round. Keep this in mind. Ryan Bates is so interchangeable. You can put him from left tackle to right tackle to damn near center, and he does every position well. So, God forbid something happens to one of our linemen, right? In comes, I'm not saying that he's going to jump over David Andrews, for instance, right? But if you look at the way this line is played out, if Connor McGovern goes down, most likely David Edwards goes in. But if Mitch Morse goes out, I could probably see, Ryan Bates going in and then Osiris Torrance then replacing Ryan Bates. So if once Ryan Bates is inserted into the line with whoever he's replacing, right? Deion Dawkins has to take a couple breathers. In comes, I'd prefer Ryan Bates at that left tackle instead of Tommy Doyle, and then Osiris Torrance will then fill in at the right guard position. So he will be on the bench, but how long will he be on the bench? And that's the question, right? And we like Ryan Bates. I think he presents stability, he presents awareness, he presents his veteran abilities, and sometimes rookies just take some time, man. They take some time. Unless your physical abilities can't propel you to that spot and very clear, then that means you're not there yet. And Ryan Bates he's just a clear-cut starter at this moment. So shout out to Ryan Bates. You battled it out with the rook, and you get to keep your position. So kudos to you. Now, before we get into the receiver room, let me jump in on comments, questions that are coming in right now. So I know you guys are firing those things in there. And salute to the chat, by the way. If you guys are in here and have not, you guys are just getting back into it now. I know that the off season sometimes is a time for you guys to just chill out. And now that the season is ramping back up, you're starting to get back onto the screen and watching. Salute, smash that like if you have not been here in a while. And if you have been here in a while, and how long have you been? Let me know in the chat. There's an ability for you to kind of show us how long you've been here. And salute to y'all. And hopefully I can get a chance to kind of go back and read some of the comments. So I got a question from JK saying, hey, Rico, you going to any games this year? Man, I hope to. I really hope to. But these days, man, with inflation, with prices for flights and all that stuff, it's tough, man. You got kids. I gotta prioritize. But the plan is always to try to go to one game at least a year. I'm trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Flights, rentals. You guys already know the drill. You already know, right? So once I'm able to kind of secure that down, then it's about picking the right game to go to, right? I don't do winter games. That ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? That just ain't for me. One of these days I will, just to kind of say I've done it. But I'm more of a September, October guy, right? Once November hits, I ain't your guy. Once December hits, don't even look my way. January, don't even call me. Because we ain't doing that. We don't do the cold stuff, man. October, September, you got me. You can hit me up. That's how we do, man. I got a super chat coming in from my guy. What's up, David B? What's up, David? David comes in and says, you know what? I'm just here to show you some love and tell you go Bills. And I appreciate that, Dave. Let's go. My man Cody Benz. What's up, Cody? My man Cody Benz. Yo, you're new if you're never seen the Cubby hat. It's true. He's right, though, because I've been wearing this for a minute, man. So let's keep it pushing. And if you guys have any questions, I'll come back and chat y'all up. So let's get back into it, baby. Let's get back into it. The depth chart. So we've talked about the O-line. We've talked about the running back. We've talked about the tight end a little bit. I'm going to go into the tight end. I like our tight end room very much, because you've got Dawson Knox, one of the better tight ends in the game. You got Dalton Kincaid that's going to make a name for himself. It's a guarantee. Quentin Morris is solid depth piece. I don't care what anybody tells me. If any of our guys go down, and I don't want it to happen, but if any of our guys go down, I don't lose sleep if Quentin Morris is in. I like Quentin Morris. I think he's established himself as a good piece and a trustworthy piece. So him being on our squad as a third tight end, and he's going to get some playing time, I'm with the shits. I'm totally with it. And here's the underrated signing, Jace Sternberger. Jace Sternberger was at one point a coveted, young tight end coming out into the game. And right now, we were able to sign him as a depth piece, and we'll see how it goes. And then we've got Joel Wilson. No disrespect, but whoever that is, we've got Joel Wilson on the squad as well, right? But Jay Sternberger as a deep depth piece, you can't go wrong with that whatsoever. You just can't, right? And the most sexiest position of all, and before we get into it, the sexiest position of all is the receiver position. And we've been battling all offseason to find out, okay, who's going to be doing what, but they made it so simple. They made it so simple that like it's a no-brainer. You're not sitting here going, we should keep 7 receivers. You know who your 6 are. So let's talk about it. So your 6 receivers, right? Obviously, you've got the mafia, the King Mafia himself. You know what I'm saying? Stephon Diggs is holding it down as receiver 1, quintessential receiver 1. There's no question about it. That boy is just that dude. He is that dude. And then you've got Gabe Davis that's alongside him. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, with what we've been hearing, what we've been seeing, and what we anticipate that will happen with Gabe Davis, he could have a breakout year, especially in a contract year. He's going to have a breakout year. He's as focused as ever. He's transformed his body to look like just a chiseled dude just coming in and is about to do work. And there was a lot left on, in my opinion, there was a lot left out on the field last year. And he's here to redeem himself. He's here to redeem himself and say, you know what? Y'all been sleeping on my name too long, man. So I'm gonna just put my head down, I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna get to this money. Literally, because that's exactly what this is all about, is getting to the money. And what I love more about players, right? And I've been fortunate enough to be in a position to interview a lot of these players. I've interviewed friggin' Andre Reed, super dope cat, to Cam Lewis, to Greg Rousseau, and I mean, I'm just to name a few. And Deion Dawkins is one of my favorites. You tend to know the person a lot better, and now you're like, man, forget about just the person under, like, you know what I mean, donning the uniform, whatever number that they have. Then you start to realize, this is a genuine good person. You start to realize who they are, what they're about, and you genuinely root for them. And Gabe Davis did a recent interview. And I don't want to, I think it's called the Second Wind Podcast, I believe. I don't want to ruin that. I want to give them their love. And you got an opportunity to really get to know Gabe Davis. And you can't help but root for the brother, man. You can't help from root for the brother. And if the Bills are able to, really catch the value that he brings to the squad, which I know they do, because if they're ready to let go of Isaiah Hodgins to keep Gabe Davis, you know that Gabe Davis is that dude, right? And if he was a little bit faster, he would have went way higher in the draft. So the fact that he's on our squad and we have an opportunity to lock him in with Stephon Diggs, that's huge. That's a lot of money that's going to be invested into that line. I'll tell you that right now, but that's massive. So if he can parlay his way into a nice contract with the Bills, why not? But he's slated to have a massive year, and I think we're all here for it because it just makes this whole team so unguardable. If everything plays the way it's supposed to play and everybody stays healthy, this offense is going to be something else, right? So let's keep it pushing. So Stephon Diggs, then you got Gabe Davis. Here's where it gets a little interesting. Check this out. So receiver 3, look at that. I found this very interesting, right? So you've got Deontay Hardy and Khalil Shakir. So you got those two boys battling out for that receiver 3 spot. And then you've got Trent Sherfield coming in at receiver 5, and then you've got Justin Shorter, receiver 6. I think we all knew that this is how it was going to play out, just like this. I mean, and then you've got your super depth pieces in Marcel Aitman, and you've got Keyshawn Johnson, and then you got Andy Isabella on the outside, Isaiah Coulter, and Brian Thompson. These guys are on the outside looking in, very much on the outside looking in. Until injuries happen, you guys are on the practice squad. That's just what it is. But if you look deep into this, Deontay Hardy and Khalil Shakir, we paid Deontay Hardy a good amount of money. We paid him a good amount of money for him to be on the squad, and he's going to present his skill set to us, and it's gonna come in packages. There's gonna be package plays for this brother. He's going to stretch the field, and you're gonna have to have respect for who's on this field. But Trent Sherfield, don't sleep on Trent Sherfield, people. He's built some chemistry alongside Josh Allen. So you will see him more often than you think. And not just because of his receiving abilities, but because when we want to run the football and we're in the green zone around that area where it's like, okay, we can put the football up or we can run the football. If you see Trent Sherfield on that field, know that he can be a threat downfield, but also know that we are don't sleep on us running the football down your damn throat. Pause, because we will do that. And when you have a guy that can block a receiver, like if you see, let me tell you this: you see Gabe Davis, you see Trent Sherfield, and you see Stephon Diggs on the field, and we're in the green zone, and then you know what I'm saying. You see a little bit of Dawson Knox, whoever you want to put on there. Folks, you better watch out. That thing, we're gonna sweep that thing. It's gonna be a counter. It's gonna be something, but that ball is coming your way, and you better be able to freaking, you know what I'm saying, man up, because down blocking is coming your way. So Trent Sherfield presents that threat to take it downfield if I need to as a receiver, or block your ass right into the sideline. So kudos to that. But I mean, the receiver room is pretty much set in stone. Deontay Hardy, Khalil Shakir as the third. Khalil Shakir has worked his butt off to really show that he's capable of taking those reps. And then we got Trent Sherfield, and then Justin Shorter is just a developmental piece that will get better along the season as the season progresses. And once he starts learning the ways, and if he shows how he's supposed to be and what he's really supposed to be, then we may have gotten a steal with Justin Shorter. So we shall see. But the offensive side of the ball is pretty much set. If you really think about it, the biggest battle that's pretty much solved as of right now was the Ryan Bates and O'Cyrus Torrence battle, right? And it's listen, at the end of the day, there's really not much to really fight about. It's this: veteran ability, awareness, experience over youth. And this is what I think this is. It's experience over youth. You still got a lot to learn, Osiris Torrance. You are a physical specimen, yes, but this game is a lot of mental. You can't sit here and just bully people. You got to know where you're supposed to be. Your steps got to be in line, and you got to be in sync with your guys. So the advantage that Ryan Bates has is that he's been with these guys. He knows them, and he knows the line. So it makes sense to have someone that is trustworthy, that has earned the trust, and can be on the field. And don't forget, we are protecting the most important piece on this team, and that is Josh Allen. Josh Allen, number 17, is important. So if I'm investing in this line, I'm going to invest in this line that's going to protect my asset, and that asset is number 17. So love the fact that we brought in a rookie, but if you're not ready mentally just yet, it's okay. Chill out for a minute. We got Ricky Bates that's gonna take care of business, and then when it's time and you've earned your way, you'll get in the lineup, and it'll work out the way it's supposed to eventually. But we'll see how it plays out, man. We will really see how it plays out. I got a comment coming in from I think it says, was it Stabby? What's up, Stabby Stab? He said, I heard Shorter been killing it in special teams. Listen, if you cannot make your way onto the squad offensively and you're not going to get the reps, you better bust your ass on special teams. And that's exactly where he's going to bust his ass. Special teams. You got no choice. That's the way to make the squad. If you are not that guy right away and you still got ways to develop, you got time to develop, then there's no ands, ifs, or buts. You got to bust your ass on special teams. Because if you're not even an asset on special teams, then you're on the bubble. You're on the outside looking in. And easily a guy like Andy Isabella can come in and say, all right, I'm going to take your spot. You feel me? So you've got to bust your ass. But you're too big, you're too fast for that. And you're a physical specimen. So they're going to keep you. And they drafted your ass. So it's going to work out. It's just going to take some time. And that's why There are 7 rounds in the draft, man. Not everybody's a first rounder. I mean, you're gonna have to develop these players, and that's just what it's gonna be like. What do we got? We got a question coming in from my man Jason Stroud. What up, Jace? He goes, I'm worried about QB2, man. I don't care if they are Josh's friends. They need to show they are capable. Missed me with Barkley. He played 2 teams that quit, Jets and the Dolphins. I hear you, bro. I hear you. And sometimes it's listen, at the end of the day, who are you going to bring on that you trust enough that can do what Josh does? No one. No one in the league can do what Josh does. And if they can, they're already the starter for their team and the franchise for their team. So if Josh, God forbid, were to go down, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Just be ready for a top 10 pick. Actually, our defense is too good for that. So we'd probably be middle of the pack. You feel me? But listen, we're not even going to get into that, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, I mean, there were ample. Listen, Carson Wentz is out there, and I'm sure Carson Wentz wouldn't mind taking a small bag to be on a roster. I mean, my man's out there. I mean, taking pictures with a Philly. He's got a Philly helmet. He's got a Washington Commanders jersey, and he's got the Indianapolis Colts shorts. He's what he's trying to say is, listen, man, I played on 3 teams. I'm looking for my 4th. So he's probably looking to wear some socks. You know what I'm saying? Bills colored socks. You know what I'm saying? Bills colored cleats. Who knows? He'll finish the uniform. But why don't we just give him a full uniform and say, come on in and play with us and go from there? Because I'm not confident in Kyle Allen. Neither am I in Matt Barkley, but these guys are depth pieces. They're QB2. Ain't nobody really checking for QB2, really. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't tripping. I'm not worried about it. We just got to keep our guy healthy. We got to keep our guy healthy, and we go from there, man. Terrence Blanton. What's up, Terrence? Terrence Blanton says, yo, I'm not sure about Cook, though. Listen, man, Cook is going to answer a lot of questions. He's going to answer a lot of questions. He's going to answer a lot of questions for me, too, because since last year, you guys already know. I mean, some of y'all been calling me a hater, but I'm not a hater. You guys know that. I just keep it a buck. And I didn't see anything that, I mean, at the beginning of the year, at least, I didn't see anything that had me like, I don't know, fam. Alex, man. Yeah, man. Hold on a second. I got my man, Alex. Yo, come on, Doc. Let's go, man. I'll send you the link if you want to come on and we could talk some injuries because I need your expertise, baby. I need your expertise. So if you want to come on, I'm gonna send you the link in the on the Twitter chat or on your Twitter. Give me a second, I'll send that to you. But yeah, fellas, when it comes to the running back position, you guys already know how I feel, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what James Cook can do on his own. Very much interested in what he can do. And I think we're in for a treat. I think we're in for a treat, and I want to see it for myself. I want to see what he can do as the bona fide number 1 guy, right? Devin Singletary is not here anymore. So he's not here to be that, you know what I'm saying, I'm behind Devin Singletary. Now, there's something to say when you've got confidence and you know you're the guy, you can kind of play freely, right? But show us what you got. You gotta be able to take advantage of the minimal touches that you're gonna get, because I know you ain't gonna get a lot of touches. So take full advantage of what we're gonna be sending your way, and we should be a-okay. Honestly, we should be a-okay. So that being said, we're gonna push it. We're gonna push it to the defensive side of the ball, and hold that thought as I try to sign into my Twitter. So I can send my boy Alex the link, because we're going to talk about injuries, because there are some injuries on the squad that I'd love my guy Alex to shed some light on, because there is no one that I trust more than my guy, the Thigh God. And he'll let us know, man. He's been spot on. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to wait till you're on screen for me to share my thoughts with you, bro, because I actually have a tremendous amount of respect for you, because you be getting on some people, man, and I love every bit of it. So let's talk about it. So let me send you the link, and then we'll get it popping in just a moment. And right now my thing is messing up, so you guys hang tight with me as I navigate and figure my ways out here. And I gotta give a shout out to my man Brandon Lisi. Brandon, I see you, bro. Don't you fret. I'm gonna come out here and show you some love in just a moment, but I gotta send the link to my man Alex, and then we're gonna get this thing popping real quick. And link is sent, Alex. Come on down. You're the next contestant, my G. And shout out to my man Brandon Lisi coming in with that new membership subscription, and I appreciate that. You know what comes with it. Bing, biggity, bing. Welcome to the Bing Squad, my guy Alex. Listen, Brandon Lisi, welcome. Let's go. You're that dude. I appreciate you, man. And for those that have been tuning in for, you know what I'm saying, to the Rico Report, to the Buffalo Fanatics, yo, we've gone through a lot of changes. I'm going to be real. We've gone through a lot of changes. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of faces you ain't going to see here. But, you know, sometimes simplicity is best. When you complicate things, you know what I'm saying, it can kind of get a little muddy. So sometimes simplicity is best. And we appreciate y'all, you know, rocking with us through some of the changes. And once the season gets popping, you already know what it is, man. We get to the business and we get to it. And we try to give you the best analysis we can, especially that, you know what I'm saying, since we're not, you know what I'm saying, a reporter right up in there, you know what I'm saying? So we try to do what we can do and bring y'all some entertainment and keep it pushing, right? So let's jump on to the defensive side of the ball, folks, because the depth chart on the offense, I think we pretty much knew what was happening. There's really not much to write home about. I mean, you knew, but defense has way more questions. And it's funny because the defense, in my opinion, at the moment is the stronger unit right now based on where we have our pieces. We've got all pro players on this team. We got Pro Bowl players on this team. Like, golly, think about 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying, looking at the squad, and we were dying to have, you know what I'm saying, something to show us that where's our stars coming from? Now we got stars on the left, we got stars on the right, we got stars in, you say, front office, all of that. So, but before we get into depth chart pieces, I'm gonna bring in my guy Alex. Alex, give me the thumbs up when you're ready to go, baby. Yeah, that's my guy. So I'm gonna bring in my guy Alex, and we're gonna talk some business. What up, Alex?
What's up, Rico?
What's happening, bro? Listen, I'm really happy to see you, man. I really am.
Glad you asked me on. How you
Listen,
been?
I've been great. I'm gonna let you figure out your camera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're good.
I like it. First and foremost, I want to congratulate you on a beautiful wedding. You and your lady put a nice little complimentary dance for everybody, and you
Oh
broke
yeah,
into the dance. Love it. You got your
yeah,
lady involved in it. I'm with it. So congratulations on being a newly married man. Zbot is to follow. He popped the question the other day. So I mean, love is in the air. Apparently,
oh yeah.
love is in the air. So let's get to the nitty gritty. All right. Let's get to Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver he had some time off. Can we talk about Ed Oliver and what his issues are? And is it something that's serious or something that we're like, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal?
Yeah, no, I don't think that Oliver is an issue. What do they call it, a groin, right?
That's right. They had a groin issue.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't come back for a couple weeks, I'd be a little worried. But at this point, I would just think, it's camp, so if these guys get like a little soft tissue, they shut them down for a couple of days. They usually pop back in there.
I like it. So, if you were to talk about a player that has you the most worried with their injury, who is it that stands out to you?
That's a good question. I mean, Allen leaving practice, they said it was on his elbow and shoulder that that raised an eyebrow. And then if you think back, after the scrimmage, he had back-to-back practices with like a long sleeve T-shirt on, and it was pretty loose.
Does that matter?
Well, if he's covering something up on his elbow, so I looked at a couple pictures. I didn't see any brace on. You could tell there's no brace, but does he have like some kinesio tape on it? Is something bugging him? And then like the tape got loose, so he had to run in and get a tape job. He didn't want the guys to see it. And then he's been seen getting worked on with his like shoulder and elbow at camp, like on the field, which is normal because he was kind of doing that late in the year, but he never did that before the elbow injury. So listen, like what could be going on? I mean, he might just be like, hey, this feels good. It like loosens my shoulder up, or he's got some scar tissue from those two sprains in his elbow, and it kind of bugs him sometimes. So I guess time will tell. I don't think they'd be putting him out there in harm's way during camp if it was that serious, but it's something to keep an eye out for.
Let me ask you this though, because it's and it makes it tough, right? I'm a player, and I've got guys like Alex Lucci freaking watching every freaking thing that I do, so I can't even just go into the locker room and come back because, God forbid, if I come out and Alex Lucci sees something, he's gonna write something on me. So like, if I come out and I just want to work out my elbow, and it's just you know what I'm saying, and I come out with loose clothing, you're sitting here. Hold on now, loose clothing is not. He didn't just want to just change his wardrobe for no reason. There's a reason. He doesn't want us to see something. So good observation on that, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, if I wasn't a PT, I'd probably be a detective because I like to put these puzzles together. Yeah. So I don't know. Like he never got worked on before the injury. He started getting worked on the field, which is a little different. I mean, guys get stretched out and stuff. They do if it's like a hamstring, but it's like weird to get like your your shoulder mobilized on the field. That's kind of something you do in the athletic training room before you go out. So I don't know if something's like bugging him. And then the loose shirt, and then leaving practice. They said it was like his elbow arm. You don't know. I don't know. I'm not too worried. I'm not like freaking out, but it's just a tidbit. You know what I mean?
It is a tidbit. Now, what is encouraging is he wasn't out very long. He kind of went to the
Correct.
locker room, did what he needed to do, and was back out there. So nothing where you're like, whoa, where's he at? He didn't even come back out yet. What's going on? So
Yeah,
not too worried about that.
That's why I'm thinking maybe a tape job. You know what I mean? And then he's got the long sleeve shirt to cover. He doesn't want people like talking about it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Von Miller.
Correct.
Von freaking Miller. I gotta say,
yeah.
And this in light of who I'm speaking to. I don't care how anybody wants to look at this, but when we talk about the thighs and we talk about thigh dancing, I gotta say Von Miller's probably got the best thighs on the team. I'm gonna keep
100%.
it.
Absolutely.
Am I lying?
No, he's got the girth, the striations. He's got the tattoos. I mean, yeah.
The tattoos. That's just the accessories on top of that. But that boy is built like a monster, boy. Like
he's got the thigh candy.
He's got the thigh for damn sure. So speaking of Von, I love the fact that you break things down where you'll take a clip of like 30 seconds of him running, and bending and ripping, and you're like, freeze frame, circle, dot, zoom it in. You're into that. So when you see the developments of Von Miller and how much he can flex his knee, how much he's able to kind of like get his heel up to his bum. If you're a track star, heel to bum is what you want. So you're able to get really out of there. Are you encouraged from what you see? You know what I mean? You're not a doctor on the squad. You're not working with him every day, but from what you see and your experience, are you encouraged as to what you've been seeing? And are you encouraged to see him sooner than week 4, week 5, or can we see him sooner than that?
Yeah, so this is a great debate, right? I mean, he's strong as a bull. Like you've seen him doing those split squats. He's got like 120 in each hand. He's strong. His thighs look even because a lot of times you'll see like, some atrophy where like one thigh looks different than the other. So he's done a good job on the strength end. And then, so now he's getting through his running. Now his running cycle, if you saw what I put out about Trey White last year when they put him out when he was running, I mean, he looked bad. Like his knee, it was coming up like 50% of the other one. So his is close. I mean, he's super close. And then, his ankle looked a little stiff and his knee looked a little stiff, but not to a point where like, hey, he's behind the curve. Like Trey was, but Von's not. He's right on track for 7 months. The problem with Von Miller, even though like he can cover up things because he's so strong and so athletic. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Whereas, so like a 90% of Von Miller is better than anyone else on the field, and it's good enough. Put him in, just have him run a couple reps a game. But is it the safe thing to do if you want him to have success long term throughout the year? Now I'm not worried like, hey, Von's going to go out and just tear his ACL. That's not really the concern. It's more soft tissue stuff. So, if there's little kink in the chain, think of it like a car, right? Like you put one new tire on and then you got 3 bald tires or something. Like it's going to screw up the axle, and then other things are going to start to break down. So if his knee's not totally all the way there and you start putting him out there in practice and the games and stuff, things can start going awry. So I'd worry about calf injuries or hamstring pulls or some back pain. You know what I mean?
Right.
So basically, he had a revision. So this is the second ACL on the same knee, which usually makes you come back slower. So say a guy can come back in about 10 months from a regular ACL, even though Adrian Peterson came back in 8 and some guys come back in 9. You see these guys get soft tissue injuries when they come back. Adrian Peterson is the anomaly. Okay. You don't understand. Like that was a freak occurrence. And he kind of gave you unrealistic, goals for people coming back too early. So basically, where was I going with this? If he comes back too early, I'd be worried about him getting hurt. A regular ACL takes about 10 months. A revision takes 12. He's 34 years old. He had a lateral meniscus. I mean, he's got an old body, and it's the second time. This guy should be taking 12 months. He's not, because he looks like he's doing really good.
For sure.
But I think rushing him back at 9 months for September is like a recipe for disaster. Now, could he get through and I could put my foot in my mouth? Absolutely. But I would expect them to give him like a low snap count, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, all they got him doing is it's not necessary. That's why they signed Floyd.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So even at 6 weeks, because he says, "Oh, I'm going to come back no later than 6 weeks." You know how he is. He's very optimistic. So he
Very.
thinks he's going to get the pup if he does, and he's going to put out, "Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. The team's holding me back. It's what's right for the team." He's going to sit on the pup for 4 weeks. Then he's got the 21-day window if
Yep.
they activate him. He wants to come back for that week 6 game because it's like home Sunday Night Football against the Giants.
Yep.
I get that. Even that is like a little early, but it's not that bad because it's like 10 and a half months. Now, he came back 9 months from his ACL 10 years ago. Okay, so that was pretty quick, but it was an isolated tear.
Yep.
All right, and he was 10 years younger though.
There you
so
go.
now he's got more. Yeah, he's got more cartilage wear and tear. Rico. I'm not gonna put you on blast how old you are.
38,
like,
baby. 38
me too.
looking good, baby.
Yeah, so every 5 years after like 20, you notice like a difference in recovery and stuff.
Heck
and
yeah.
even if you have the best genes and the best clinical staff in the world, your body's not the same. There's more wear and tear. So for me to think him come back at 34 on a revision at 9 months, it's not a good idea.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny you mentioned that because like Alex, how old are you?
38.
38. Oh, we listen. We age like fine wine, baby. So check this out. So I'm saying like when we were 25, you mean watching football and you hear, oh, he's 32, he's 33, and we're like, man, that's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
And then when we start getting to 34, 35, like I'll run with my kids and I'm like, golly, like there's a lot of weight on my knees. What's going on?
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
and these guys are super athletes. They got medical staff all over them, but like when you get hurt, you get hurt. It takes time to heal back. You're just not the guy that's going to bounce back again like you used to.
Correct.
So very interesting. Now, I got one more player to touch on, and then we're not just going to talk about injuries because I feel like we just bring you on for injury talk. Now, I want to get your football mind in this. And if you have the time, obviously time permitting. All right? So let's talk about it. Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips has returned. And this is a medical question. Then it turns into football talk because we're going to get into the defensive depth chart. And I want you on for this, right? So Jordan Phillips returns late in the game, first and foremost. Everybody's conditioned, in shape, ready to attack season. The week 1 preseason game. And then here comes Jordan Phillips back from a labrum injury. I mean, you speak on it more so. Talk to me about Jordan Phillips, his chances, what he had to go through, and how he's going to be implemented back into this defense.
Yeah, so going back, remember when he chased Mac Jones around when we had the game put away, and he had that he dove at him? Yes. It was stupid. It was unnecessary dive.
Very much so. Like, what are you doing? You're
said
so far away. No, let me go back to that. What the hell were you doing? You had no chance, and you dove for what reason exactly?
He ruined his body on 2 dumb plays. He chased down what's his name week 2, Tannehill. Yes. On that touchdown for Milano, and blew out his hamstring, and then he dislocated his shoulder running around Mac Jones like an idiot.
Bro,
you didn't have to. They didn't chase him, but you don't have to dive like that.
No,
he's a big dude.
Big boy, you're 300 pounds. When you dive and all that, there's a lot of meat hitting the ground. Pause.
Yeah.
Let's go talk about it.
Yeah. So he said he dislocated his shoulder. It came out in the paper the other day. But when he came back, ironically, he came back against the Patriots again. He tore his rotator cuff. So the rotator cuff's a more significant injury. The labrums, these guys get these done every offseason, like so many guys. You have no idea. So your shoulder dislocates. You put on the harness. You get through the season. Your shoulder's not 100%, but you get through it as long as it doesn't keep popping out. And then they fix it up. And the rehab's real good. The guys come back well from it. So that wasn't a concern. But then when he tore his rotator cuff, that's the big one. So that really affects the function of the shoulder. It makes it weak when it's obviously not there. So a rotator cuff repair, to get back to the NFL, is about 6-7 months, and he's right on target, which is good. But the outcomes start to go downhill fast after 30, and he is 30. So that goes to show. So in my opinion, this is his swan song with Buffalo. They re-signed him. They knew he'd probably be good for a year. If his shoulder's kind of out of whack, whatever, it's a 1-year deal. But he's a big body who can go in there and fill some holes. I don't think you're going to see so I don't know. What does he win with? Does he win with his speed? He doesn't win with speed, but he's got a big body, swim move, whatever. But I wouldn't put him in too many situations where you need him kind of pressing the lineman off his body and being a stout defender. So he might end up being a situational pass rusher, especially if his shoulder's not up to snuff. Look for this to be the last year, and you should see a little decline in his play, especially in the upper body strength.
You know what? Before we get into time permitting, obviously, but before we get into depth chart, because I want to bring you onto that. This is my moment to show you love. Let me tell you something, man. You are a valuable asset to Buffalo Fanatics. You are a G, and forget about that. You bring. I love what. Just listen. I'm gonna just get right to it. The conversations you have with people have me dying. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you don't take yourself serious enough to like care about what people say because it's listen, you got more and more important things to take care of. But the banter that you have with people have me dying, especially the one you had yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
Yes.
out there. Yeah, yeah. You could call it a troll, whatever. I'm just out here to mind fuck with people.
Love it.
So I give Rico. I give him the facts. I give him the medical stuff. Then I give him
Yep.
the thighs. And then if people step out of line, I put them in check, but nicely, in a funny way. You know what I mean?
I love
That's
it.
how it
I love
goes.
it. Because
Yeah.
too many people take Twitter or X too damn seriously. Relax.
Yeah.
Settle down, man. Because once you put your phone down, you're back to regular life, bro, man. You
Yeah.
can't be you doing all this
Oh.
stuff on the internet for, you know what I'm saying? Relax. Settle down. But I you're a gem and I appreciate you. And this is an appreciation time because you are a gem and what you do is you're excellent. And I trust everything that comes out of your freaking mouth because you've been bang on. When you said Jordan Phillips has 7 months, come back 6.7 months, bang on in 7 months, man. You're like the
Yeah.
oracle, bro. You're like the medical oracle.
Well, hopefully that most PTs are just like me. They just they don't love the Bills as much to speak up about it.
Listen, love every bit of it. All right, let's get to the depth chart, baby. We got to get
Yeah.
to the depth chart. All right. So your thoughts on this, man? Offensively, we got it. But like, I'm looking at let's start with the edge, right? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We have Greg Rousseau. Opposite side of Greg Rousseau, you're going to have Leonard Floyd. Then you've got depth pieces in Boogie Basham. And then you've got defensive tackle. You've got your Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, which is we knew what was going to happen. Von Miller on the opposite side of the edge. AJ Epinesa is having a freaking fantastic camp. And he's looking to build up on what he did last year with 6.5 sacks. Jordan Phillips in the middle, Tim Settle in the middle. Then you got Poona Ford and then Kendall Vickers. And then you've got a slate of Shane Ray. You've got Cameron on the other side. You got Cortez Bauman, Eli Onku from last year, DJ Dale, Kingsley Jonathan. And I love Kingsley Jonathan. There's a lot of freaking pieces on this defense. Now, I want to know, where do you see Jordan Phillips fitting on this, man? Because it's a numbers game.
Question.
It's a numbers game, man. What's your thoughts?
Well, they structured his contract where they can't really cut. There's no benefit to cut him. So I don't see him getting cut at the wire here. He could be a healthy scratch if he's not up to snuff. But they might just carry 5 D tackles. But then the question is, how many DNs do you want to carry? So you got to assume, and this is probably good for the rotation, to get the certain guys on the roster. But if Von goes to PUP, then do you want to keep 5 or do you want to keep 6? Because definitely can see, obviously, Floyd, Groot, AJ. So you got 3. And now who do you take between Boogie, Ray, and Lawson? Now, if Von's out and you want to carry 6, you're carrying them all. But if you don't carry 6 and you're carrying 5, like, who are you cutting? Is Shane someone you can cut and put on the practice squad, or is he going to get scooped up? Is he true? Is he like really ripping it up out there? I don't know. But he's definitely not youthful. Like he's turning 30, so I don't know how the team wants to go with that. But I definitely see him carrying the 5 D tackles. They might have a game day inactive, how that works, and I can see him carrying 6 D ends, and then maybe having
So I mean, hold on.
Let's 11 D linemen.
Hold on a sec. So Greg, so are we counting out Von Miller? Von Miller out for a bit?
I'm counting them out. Yeah, I'm counting them out.
So we're counting Von Miller. So we got Greg Rousseau. That we'll say we got Leonard Floyd. All right, there's your bookends.
Yeah.
All right, then you got Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones. There's your 4. You got AJ Epinesa as your depth. There's your 5. Then you've got what? Boogie Basham, or do you got Shaq Lawson? Right.
Great question. I think they would lean on Boogie. Because
so let's just say we take Boogie Basham. Then we got Poona Ford. They're not going to sit Poona Ford. There's 7. Tim Settle 8. Jordan Phillips 9, or do you want to go Shaq Lawson? Shaq Lawson or Jordan Phillips?
All right. Can I tell you something? So I saw this dilemma coming like 2 months ago.
All right.
And then I looked into the contract. So the only one you could really cut is Shaq. Shaq's the only one that works for a cut. Tim Settle restructured, can't cut him. if you cut him, it's like the same amount of dead space it is you're going to save. So it's a moot point. And then Ray is definitely cuttable too, but it sounds like he's kind of a riser here, and he kind of fits the Von Miller mold where he's like the speed rusher. So, and the other two guys are long. I know Groot can come on and be the total package, but right now I see him more as like a long like run stopper, whereas Leonard Floyd kind of fits that too. Like the guys can rush the passer, but I don't see them as like the Von Miller, if you know what I mean.
Listen, they're gonna have some decisions to make. That, like I said, and people keep talking about like the O-line has struggled and the O-line this and O-line that. The O-line is going up against a really good defensive group inside and out. And you've got the depth pieces that are making noise. Kingsley Jonathan is a stud.
Yeah,
he is a stud. So you can't, like, you've got a lot of depth pieces, man.
He played good fundamental football when he got put in there. It was actually impressive. He's a bit undersized though. He's a little undersized. He's short and he's light. But he played hard. I don't remember what game it was, but he stood out. I was like, damn.
He stands out, man. I kept on hearing Kingsley Jonathan, man. So let's keep it moving now, right? So let's go to the linebacker move, the linebacker room. So we got Matt Milano, and then look what's interesting. They can't decide on who they want as their middle linebacker between Terrell Bernard and Tyrel Dotson, right? So here's the deal. Matt Milano, Tyrel Dotson, you got Terrell Bernard, Dorian Williams, the rookie, and then you've got Balen Spector. There's your 5 linebackers, maybe 6, but I think we're going to keep 5. Well, you got to keep 6 because Tyler Matakevich is going to come in. He's a special teamer. So the battle between Terrell Bernard and Tyrel Dotson. Is it Tyrel Dotson's job to lose, or is it really neck and neck, and the undersized linebacker in Terrell Bernard is going to take it? The substitute teacher, Terrell Bernard, is he going to take it? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are the team wants him to take it, but he hasn't taken it. So Dotson's on a 1-year deal, which is not cuttable either. It's like a $2 million deal. It's a wash if you get rid of him. So he's good insurance because they know him. You know they want Bernard, or they wouldn't still have him slashed there. But he's probably a little behind in some shape or form.
It's so funny they mentioned it because they want him to, and that's how I felt when we drafted Zach Moss. They were pushing Zach Moss to take over Devin Singletary, but he just couldn't do it because Devin Singletary was like, "Nah, fam, I still got legs under me. I still can do this job," and he never was able to do that until he got traded. So Terrell Bernard is pushing for that spot. Does that mean Balen Spector's out?
I don't know if he's out, and they might carry 3 because I think all these guys are not like true middle linebackers, and they have good flexibility. Wouldn't be surprised if Darian makes the team, but he's never active. You know what I mean? And then they go with Dodson, Bernard, Spector, and Milano, and then they got to activate Matakevich.
They will. I mean, somebody's gonna have to get the scissors. It definitely won't be Dorian Williams. He's gonna be out there. It's a matter of time until they start to kind of integrate him to the middle linebacker spot. Maybe that's when they'll put him in there. But as of right now, it's not going to happen. And
I know you want him to make it. I know you want it to work, and so we all do. The only problem is the fact that they demoted him this early makes me think that he might be an idiot. I don't mean that meanly, but I think it's just like the playbook is just not. It's not going to. They just realized, hey, this guy needs like a red shirt right now.
And you know what? Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes people develop slowly. And it's just a matter of time until they get it. So right now, as a rookie, he's got the rookie pass. Well, come year 2 in the same system, come year 3, we need to see some things. And maybe that's why he got drafted in the 3rd. But
or later in the year. Sometimes these guys, sometimes these rookies come on like in the later 3rd, second half of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, Terrell Bernard was a 3rd-round pick too, right? So we'll see how that plays out. So last but not least, man, this is the big one, right? And it's the cornerback position. And the cornerback position, it seems as though nobody wants to take it. And right now, here's what it's looking like. You've got Dane Jackson as potentially the leader. You got Christian Benford alongside Kaiir Elam. For me, I'll talk for myself. It's a frustrating battle because it should be. I mean, maybe you want to say it. I want it to be Kaiir Elam, but it's just not playing out the way we're expecting it to be. You draft the guy in the 1st round. You think, all right, in year 2, you should be able to just lock this down. But Dane Jackson's got way more to say about that. And Christian Bedford's like, hold on now. Don't forget about where I got drafted. I'm still in this race just as much. And he had a very good camp the other day. So this whole cornerback position is a mess. I want to call it a mess. It's a good mess to have because
Yeah.
Teron Johnson is your clear-cut nickel. You got Cam Lewis backing him up, which is very interesting. Love that. Saron Neal as your bird. And I can see that because Cam Lewis is your better cover corner than Saron Neal. Saron Neal is great for special teams, but that's as far as it goes. Tre'Davious White, obviously your QB, your cornerback one. Christian Benford, Kyer Elam, Dane Jackson, all split. They don't know what to do with that. And then you got Jordan Poyer, Taylor Rapp, you got D. Marlowe, Micah Hyde, DeMar Hamlin, and away we go. So let's talk about this defensive back. Let's start with corner. Trey White, cornerback one, we know that.
Yeah.
Those three boys that we talk about, Dane, Christian, Kyer. What the F is going on?
I don't know. I think what's going to happen, I think they're going to go safe and start with Dane and then just make him keep working for it. It's a good problem to have. I don't know why they're giving Kyer such hard love, but something must be going on. And I know he makes plays and he looks good, but it's got to be something with the zone defense. It's got to be something about communication. They just don't trust it all the way. But they're all like really good, and Benford's the big surprise, right? They probably expected him to be like whatever, a depth piece, and he's like he's a freaking borderline starter. So
he's put a wrinkle in this whole situation.
I mean, I would croak if I heard like, hey, the team extended Dane Jackson like before the season starts. So I think he's on his swan song. So I would assume maybe he starts the year, but he fades. You know what I mean? Like they start to like weed him out. But obviously a good depth piece. And then, who's going to rise up, Benford or Kyer? I think Kyer is going to eventually get it. I really do. Because I don't think he's bad enough to be like, hey, let's keep this first rounder on the bench. Do you know what I'm saying? I think he's close enough. Like they probably should just do it. But I don't know. They're playing little games there.
Here's the challenge.
Yeah.
You've got three corners that present three strengths that not all of them have, right? So the strength that Dane Jackson brings is experience and awareness. He knows where to be on the field. He's always around the football. Case in point, his rookie year, I think he had like 2 interceptions because he was right where he was supposed to be, where the football is.
Now, don't forget
Benford. What's that?
Quick injury tidbit. Dane's got a wonky neck now, so just keep that in mind. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you for that. That was a gruesome injury, by the way.
Because and then he had and then it flared up later in the year. So they probably know, they got to know that one wrong hit and he's coming out.
That's a great point. Thank you for this is why I bring you on, baby. The doc, man. He's always got his little magnifying glass. He's always looking for stuff, right?
But before we cut out,
yep.
I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but let's touch base on Hyde before we cut this conversation.
We definitely will get to Hyde because I want to just finish this segment and we'll go right to Hyde. So you got Christian Benford that gives you his zone abilities. He's a zone baller. He knows how to do it. And then Kyer is your athleticism. He's an athlete. He's fast. He's long. He's lengthy, and he's not afraid to tackle. If we could just merge those three casts together, you got your corner. But one of them is going to have to emerge, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that battle plays out. Safety. Micah Hyde. Let's get right into the Micah Hyde. Is he ready?
Yeah, no, he's ready. It's just how much can he hold up? So the neck fusion is no joke. So you fuse the neck. Yeah. So he thought his career was over, but they said it went well so he can come back. So he's like 32, 33, which is already the late end of the career. The neck fusion is nothing to play with.
I didn't know he fused his neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the joints above and below are going to take extra wear and tear, okay? So they're going to wear out like the joint that he did have. Now, the caveat is he's already old. He's like at the end of his career. So is this like a one and done for him? Is this what he wants? And, they talked about it behind the scenes. I don't think he's expecting to get like a contract extension for another 2 years and play till he's 35, 36. His neck's going to be shot. The average career length after a neck fusion is like 3.6 years. And that's for younger players. I mean, he's like 32, 33. I'm scared. I'm scared he's going to take a hit and it's going to fuck it up, and then he's going to go on the IR right away.
Because I was looking at how old he was. 32 years of age with a neck fusion.
Correct. Not good. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, do you want to carry 5 safeties like that? Then you could keep DeMar and you could keep Cam Lewis because he's like the 5th safety. Or are you going heavy D line and linebacker, and you got to go short on the secondary, which makes you have to get down to Cam Lewis and DeMar. Now, DeMar only plays safety, but Cam could also play nickelback, and they're going to keep Saron Neal for the special teams. So that's a scenario where DeMar might get bumped off the roster.
That
And
is
that's going to be a bunch of drama.
That's a fantastic point because it becomes a numbers thing. And everybody thinks, well, you got to cut from the cornerback spot. It's not necessarily that. You got to now move. Okay, how many linemen are we keeping? We've been keeping, 8 to 9 linemen for the betterment of 2 or 3 years. So how many are we keeping? Are we keeping less offensive linemen? That's another thing to look at. So very good point. I didn't the neck fusion was the one thing that I wasn't sure that's what he got. So thank you for pointing that out. And that's super scary. Correct. I know it's fused and everything, but you don't want to think about it, but it could be
the other joints could get damaged. Yeah. Now listen, you worry. That's why I think 1 year could be okay. One bad hit might screw up the other joints, but it's the wear and tear. It's the mileage. So if he's already 32, he's already got wear and tear in the other joints. It's not going to last 3.5 years.
Right.
But if he was 27, 28, maybe you could see this kid play until he was 30, 31. Now, listen, there's other guys who have fusion. I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Who's that freak who's built like T.O. for Seattle?
DK.
DK had a fusion in college, but he's a receiver and he's not tackling people. Correct. Yeah.
And he's massive.
Yeah. But, his neck's going to wear out too, and that's why he dropped in the draft, right? And that's why he's on a 3-year deal, not a 6-year blockbuster monster deal. Yeah.
Now, keep this in mind. Micah Hyde, obviously, of his age is, he's on the wrong side of 30 with that neck fusion. So I totally understand exactly where you're coming from. That's why we brought in a guy like Taylor Rapp, 25, 26 years of age. So he's got a lot of football left. So good
insurance.
And you got DeMar Hamlin. Obviously, if he can get over the mental part of his situation and he can get back to football shape and really get going, this is it's a scary defensive backfield, man. It's a scary defensive backfield because of how quickly it could deteriorate. Because look at Jordan Poyer was contemplating retirement, for crying out loud. You got 2 safeties that were contemplating retirement. And in my opinion, and opinion of a lot of people, when you start thinking about retirement, you halfway there. So how in are you? Playing?
Yeah, I'm not as worried about Poyer for a big time injury, but he's got a lot of little things that could keep getting tweaked. You know what I mean? So he might be a guy who plays at a high level, but he's in and out of the lineup, misses 3 games a season. As he gets older, it's only going to get worse. I think Poyer's 31,
right?
But he was very healthy until this year, but then his ankle, and then he's got the meniscus in the knee, and he had the hyperextended elbow that got aggravated. The pneumothorax was a freak thing. Not worried about that. I'm not worried about Hamlin either. With the heart, it's not a thing. But could he play with trepidation? Yeah, but they're not going to keep him if he is. If they see that. But also, not going to lie, I love the story, love the player, but on the field, it was only his 2nd year. He appeared to be a step too late, not making the right read sometimes. It always seemed Hamler got burned over on that safety side. Yeah, so
we put the love story aside of the nation and the world falling in love with him. All right, when we get to the nitty gritty about what you can do on the field for me, show me what you got. You know what I'm saying? Because based on the tape, it was okay.
But he was young. But he's young, and he kind of got thrust in there early. So I don't know. He could still be improving, but now he's got some baggage to overcome. I love it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guy Alex Lucci. You know what I'm saying? The thigh god himself. Listen, man, Alex, any new pieces coming out that people should be looking forward, and please drop your Instagram, your Twitter handle so people can follow you, because you deserve way more follows. I need you guys to follow my guy Alex because his analysis is spot on.
Yeah, it's just Thigh Doctor. Just follow me on Twitter. I've transitioned my Instagram to more family oriented.
I got you.
I made it private. So
you gotta have that. You gotta have that balance.
If you're a random, I'll probably actually not accept it. But anyways, no offense. But follow on Twitter, Thigh Doctor, just the way you think it's spelled, and definitely put out some Bills stuff all the time. When the season comes, I'll do an analysis of who's on the injury report leading up to the games. That'll drop on a Saturday morning or the day before a weekday game. And then what else do I do? If there's ever a big injury, I'll just put out a piece for that. And I think I'll put out a little primer, a little Von Miller teaser as we get really close to the season.
And before you step out of here, is there any way that you want to show the people what a Thigh Doctor means? Because people don't realize they think they just have You just name yourself the thigh doctor just cause. I don't think they
Yeah.
really know.
Rico, so I love doing it, but I'm on my cell phone in my bedroom, so it's gonna be tough for me to pull it off. So bring me on later in the year. I'll have the setup. You just gotta give me a little more heads up. No
You got
offense.
it, buddy. This is the first
Yeah.
I've never been denied by the thigh doctor because he's always ready to show some
Well,
meat and show some thighs, boy. So I get
yeah.
it.
You don't want to see my underwear on the floor. All right.
I hear you. All right, boss. Listen, man, we appreciate you.
No
And
problem.
obviously, we're gonna get you back on during the season, and we'll get that thing popping. So appreciate you, man. Thigh Doctor, folks, follow him, Thigh Doctor on Twitter. That's our guy, and he's spot on with everything he talks about, man. And if you want a little bit of comedy and people try to clap at him, you know he's gonna clap back, but it's not gonna be the type of clap back you think. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we'll
Smack my
catch you
thighs
on the
on you.
flip side, man.
Give you a little thigh smack online.
There you go, buddy. All right, man. Alex
All right,
Lucci, Thigh
take it
Doctor.
easy.
We'll catch you later, man.
All right, later.
Yes, sir. Folks, that's my guy, man. And I kid you not, I'm not even exaggerating. Like he's very spot on the things he sees. Even when not Dane Jackson, even when Dane Jackson when he got hurt, but when DeMar Hamlin got hurt, he nailed it to a T what it could be, and it ended up being that. And boy, did he get people tried to ridicule him, or you ain't no real doctor, you did that. And he was like, cool, I'm gonna let it be until it comes out. And then bang on, he was on it, right? So I trust what he sees, and he's on it, man. So Thigh Doctor, follow him on Twitter. That's our guy. He's our resident doctor for the Buffalo Fanatics. Let's go. So let's jump right back into the depth chart, and then we'll get out of here real quick. So obviously, I love what we have at the defensive front, and it's going to come down to who stays on the squad and who gets cut. There's a whole lot of things going on when it comes to that. But really and truly, our nickelback, obviously our nickel corner is Teron Johnson. He's a beast. He's a dog. Cam Lewis is fighting and clawing to make this team, and where he's slotted at the nickel corner, I love it. I love every bit of it. Tre'Davious White at corner. You got Christian Benford, Kyer Elam. You got those four. You got those three battling it out. So that's four corners. Then you got Jamarcus Ingram and Alex Austin. So typically we keep it like 5 corners, and then we've got then you got your safeties that are in place. So listen, man, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, those two above 30. Kind of scary. You think about it when you really think about who you got back there. Forget about the name and who they are and what they've done. It's about knowing. Okay, so how long do we have them for? Right? Another what, a year or two. Poyer, maybe another year. Hyde, maybe another year or two. So the landscape of this Bills defense will change vastly in the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like for the longest part, it's been so nice to say Hoyer, you know what I mean? Poyer and Hyde, excuse me, in the backfield. Oh, no, we good, man. We got Poyer and Hyde and Poyer. We got it. There's going to come a time where it's not going to be Poyer Hyde. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be Hyde Rap, or it could be Poyer Rap, or Rap Hamlin. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how this year plays out. We've got a new defensive coordinator, obviously, in Sean McDermott. So he's going to be demanding a lot more of these guys. So I ain't mad at it, man. I'm not mad at it. We'll see. We're all going to see it play out with it before our eyes. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to see week 1. I know coach is like, we ain't trying to game plan for week 1. It's just, you know what I mean? We're playing the Colts. Not that we're playing the Colts in this disrespect, but it's more so I want to see who's going to step up. So we're probably going to see a lot of Dane Jackson, a lot of Kyer Elam, and a lot of Christian Benford. We're going to see a lot of Dorian Williams. Maybe Dorian Williams comes in and starts thumping cats all over the place. And like, wait a minute now. Maybe he is good enough to fly up the depth chart and jump in there. You know what I'm saying? So you look at the defensive front, you look at the right guard position. Maybe, Osiris Torrance shows that he's a monster and he's pancaking cats left, right, center. It's all about protecting your asset. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about, you know what I'm saying, getting to the football on the defensive side of the ball. So we're going to find out. And here's the thing. We're not even at full strength. Wait till we get into the middle of the season when, you know what I mean, our guys start coming back from injuries, Von Miller being one of them. Yo, that changes the landscape of this defense. This changes the defense. And right now, based on what I've been reading and seeing, Greg Rousseau is on his way to a breakout year. He ain't playing no games, right? But we have some competition, people. We have some competition in the AFC East, so every game matters. We've got to capitalize on every freaking game if we really want to hoist that Lombardi trophy. So depth pieces out. We've got some battles going on our way. So the big three that's happening right now is this right guard position between Ryan Bates and Osiris Torrance. And right now, Ryan Bates is leading the way. And things could change, but I don't think it will. I think it remains this way until midseason. And if everybody stays healthy, and if he works his way in, that's perfect. I mean, everybody gets nicks and bruises, so we're definitely going to see Osiris Torrance out at some point this season. The second battle going on right now is this cornerback 2 spot. It's it's a battle, man. It's a battle, and that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that the best man wins. I don't have my love for one more than the other. I like Dane Jackson. I like what he brings to the table, but I know a lot of people are like, nah, man, we know what we got in Dane Jackson, man. I'm not even trying to have no Dane Jackson, right? Then you got Christian Benford. That's the dark horse that was at one point out of the race. And then at this point, he's back in the race because of a strong training camp practice he had the other day. So, and he's back on it, intercepting Josh Allen. So he's back in it. Then you got Kyrie Elam, the first round draft pick, that's still putting it together. He's still trying to, get a feel for the game going into year 2. I mean, this is where we want to see a big leap from Kyrie Elam. He's athletic. He's long. He's not afraid to tackle. And he's got the speed that we need to go up against the big-time players like Jalen Waddle, the big-time players like Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? You got stars like Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some baller receivers out there this year that we are going to face. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. So when we draft a guy like Kyrie Elam, we need him to step his game up. Like, real talk, right? Because, like, we're going up against Devontae Adams. You're going to have Garrett Wilson. You got dogs, you know what I'm saying, over there in Washington. The Jaguars got some dogs out there. Calvin Ridley's going to be showing off his thing. So, like, we're going to be facing some dogs at receiver. So we need one of these guys to emerge, but not just emerge as, you know what I'm saying, just made the cut and I'm the guy. I want you to, like, separate yourselves. Separate yourself from the crew and really hone in and get in there, because we're going up against some dogs, man. Because if you got 3 cornerbacks, you ain't got one. It's just what it is, man. So hopefully one of these guys emerge, and the person that does emerge has got the trust. That means he earned the trust of Coach McDermott. And then we'll see how that plays out. And last but not least, position battle that's going on right now is this one right here. It's the Tyrell Dodson, Terrell Bernard, and Balin Spector. And right now, Tyrell Dodson's got that edge. And he's more of a thumper of a linebacker. He's got the girth behind him. And obviously you have Terrell Bernard that's allegedly instinctual. He's an instinctual linebacker. He knows where to be, and he does what he does. But I'm gonna keep it funky with you, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I see plays like this, you know what I'm saying, let me play this. Look at the middle linebacker. It kind of makes you worry a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's only one clip, and it's unfair to use, but that's the one clip I do have. And Terrell Bernard happened to be the middle linebacker in that position, and my man just went up there, got swallowed up, and here goes James Cook, and he's gone for 40. So when I see stuff like that, it kind of makes me worry a little bit. But that is one clip, and I just can't go off of just that. So we'll see how it all plays out. But at the end of the day, we got ourselves a dogfight, and we got ourselves a damn good team. That's the main thing. We got ourselves a damn good team, and somebody's going to have to come out there and do their job. You know what I'm saying? So love it. Love what we're seeing, and then we'll go from there. So, folks, the position battles are set. Week 1 is upon us. Week 1 of preseason is just a few days away. So, you know what I'm saying? Get your popcorn ready. We're going to find out who's going to stand out and who's going to man up. We're going to find out who's going to stand up and man up, and then we'll see how that plays out. So, folks, that's it for me, man. If you guys enjoyed this show, smash that like. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you want to support the Buffalo Fanatics, it's very simple. SupportBF.com. We've made it simple. Hit that up. Everything you need to know is right there. Articles are going to start popping out left, right, center. And like I said, we've made several changes with Buffalo Fanatics, right? You're going to see, you know what I'm saying? You've seen it. It's apparent. We don't shy away from it. It is what it is. And sometimes you got to make the changes to simplify things and then grow, right? Sometimes you got to take steps back to move forward. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing us love, because we still gonna give it to you raw, the way we like to, you know what I'm saying? Raw, unfiltered, and you get what you get, right? So tune in with us every week. Mondays with my man Z-Bot, Tuesdays and Fridays with me, and sometimes Saturdays, and then Rev. Once he's situated, he just moved. So once he's situated, we'll get Rev back on there, and then we'll have some guests that come on with it. We got some great contributors. My man Kevin Syracuse. I got my man Everett Harrington that comes on. Alex Lucci obviously comes on, and we've got a slew of guys that contribute to the Buffalo Fanatics that make it what it is. So we appreciate you, and I guess we will catch you guys on the flip side. Oh, we got a super chat coming in right real quick. Oh, my girl, Linda. What's up, Linda West? She says, thanks for the great show, Rico. Well, listen, Linda, thank you. Listen, Linda, listen. We appreciate you. Thank you guys very much. And just before I get out of here, because I did have a few people that had some comments that they wanted to bring in here. So one of the questions that was asked was, what do you think of the mental game affecting Vaughn the way it affected Trey? And I think he answered that a little bit. And I think it's just a matter of, he's already gone through this injury. Let me keep that up there. Vaughn has already gone through this injury. So it's not like he's like, I don't know what to prepare for. I don't know how to do it. They know. Once you've gone through the injury, I mean, look, ask OBJ. OBJ, unfortunately, my goodness, man, he's gone through it more than once. And mentally, you've got to be strong enough to go through rehab. And I was listening to a podcast, and a player was talking about going through rehab. Rehab is one of the hardest things to do. It's harder than working out, because you got to now get yourself back in shape, mentally sharpen yourself to really take on the vigors of this rehab. It's tough altogether. So Von Miller, having already gone through this, and he's got a great medical team and a great medical staff with the Bills, I think he'll be just fine. I think they'll treat it with kid gloves until he's ready to get back into it, and then we'll go from there, man. We really will. We got another super chat from my man Brandon Lisi. I appreciate you, Brandon. I didn't forget about you, bro. He says it's a combo between fans understandably associating a first round in Elam with an automatic starter and Dane Jackson being better than people give credit for. You're absolutely right. And here's the deal. Dane Jackson, when Dane Jackson came onto the scene, I'll tell you two things. There was a podcast that Brandon Beane was on, and the podcast was with Collinsworth. I think it was Chris Collinsworth and Richard Sherman. And Brandon Beane was gushing around about Dane Jackson. He loved Dane Jackson. He loved his awareness. He loved how smart he was. He loved everything about Dane Jackson. So he's not about to just dismiss Dane Jackson out of nowhere. He ain't. He's going to give Dane every opportunity to make this squad. Dane is tough. Dane is where he needs to be. And like my man Brandon said, I don't think people are giving him credit for how good he possibly can be. And maybe that's why Kyer Elam isn't able to just supplant him that way. Enter Christian Benford. Christian Benford was slightly a late round draft pick, was just there to be a depth piece, and we'll see how that plays out. But he's shown that he could be inserted into this defense last year as a rookie and played well, and he was interchangeable. He can come in and come out, but his strength is in the zone. So maybe eventually he makes his way back to the safety position when Micah and Jordan decide to, leave the squad or whatever happens, right? So maybe that transition is upon us. So is it a two-man race between Dane and Kyer? Who the heck knows? But the point is, we've got a battle on our hands, and a lot of people associate that with, if we drafted Kyer Elam in the first round, he should be starting. And I'm with you, because I, in a way, feel the same way. But it doesn't work that way, folks, unfortunately, because I'm a player on the squad. I'm a free agent signee, or I got drafted in late rounds. The fact that I'm donning a uniform and they're giving me opportunity, I don't give a damn what round you got drafted in. I'm going to show you what I got. Stevie Johnson could have did the same thing. Stevie Johnson was the 7th round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Easily able to be cut. But nah, man, Stevie Johnson has become one of the best Bills receivers ever. So it doesn't matter where you get drafted, folks. You just got to show what you got when you're on that field and when they give you your opportunity. So preseason is upon us. If they stand out and they come out and they're on their assignment, they know where they're supposed to be, and they know what they're supposed to be doing, and you're not making mental errors, because that's what happens. One mental error can lose you a game easily. If the game is 17-17 and you give up a mental error and you give up a field goal because of that, because they made a big play on you and the defense makes a stop, and now we're down 3 because you're a mental error, there's the game. You got to be mentally sharp always. Physical, like they say, the mental 90% of this game is mental and the next is 10%. So you better be smart because you a dummy and you don't know where you're supposed to be. You're not trustworthy. You got to hit the bench. You got to hit the showers, bro. It's not going to happen. So totally get what Brandon Lee's saying, and he's on it. He's totally on it. My man Pledger Wells, I saw that comment. I saved it for later. And he says, "What's up, Rico? Just subscribe to you and enjoy your content and analysis on your team. I loved going to Canada. Keep that guap, my dude. You're an inspiration to others, man. I appreciate that, Pledger Wells. That's much love. And listen, man, we'll have to chop it up sometime soon. And you're welcome to Canada anytime. Canada is a great place, great country. We got our flaws, but it's a solid country nonetheless." And last but not least, my girl, obviously, Linda, showing some love. So much appreciated, Linda. And let me go back to the live chat real quick before I get out of here. And any questions, concerns, drop them in right this second before I head out. You know, your boys got to hit that. I got to hit that night shift. And I got to get that coffee in me. I don't know if you guys are coffee drinkers. I was never a coffee drinker, ever. I started working nights, and and as soon as I started working nights, they're like, "Hey, man, you better get used to drinking coffee." I was like, "Nah, I'm good, man. I'm straight. I just need a couple hours of sleep a week straight." And I'm not 7 years into doing nights, 8 years, I think. And now I'm a coffee drinker now. But now it was about what kind of coffees do you drink? Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now, fam. I don't do black coffees. That is gross. For those that do black coffee, kudos to you. It takes a certain individual to enjoy black coffee. You gotta love coffee to drink black coffee. That shit is gross. So my black ass was like, "Nah, I ain't doing that." So then I started doing, I don't know how you guys do. We call it triple triples out here. So 3 cream, 3 sugar. I started doing that. Some people are like, "Ugh, that's gross. All that sugar in there." That's how I used to rock, man. Because when I was younger, my granny used to make us some coffee and we used to dip. That's a whole other ball game how we grew up when we were younger. But anyway, so then I started tweaking with my coffees. I finally have the right coffee that I have. I do a double, 2 cream, 2 sugar. And I'm a shot of caramel. I don't give a damn. That's how I roll. And that shit keeps me straight. And it smells good. Everybody's like, "Yo, whose coffee is that, man?" I was like, "That's mine. Don't worry about it. Mind your business. Just hand me my coffee and we're going." So right now I got my coffee real good and we're about to get to the night shift and get this thing cracking. But for those that do black coffee, you're a different individual. Good for you guys, because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? My man Big Cuz says, "Yo, coffee is your best friend if you work nights." Listen, I'm doing a coffee a day, which is that never used to be me. A coffee a day, that is nuts to me, man. So yeah, I gotta chill on that. But yeah, that's what it is, man. So folks, we much appreciate you guys tuning in. And so my man said, "Yo, Rico, alertness, caffeine pills." I'm telling you, caffeine pills. I've never been a caffeine pill. Never been that dude, man, for caffeine pills. But if that gets me off the coffee and save me my money, then yeah, man. Because these coffees these days, it cost you like $3 for a damn coffee, crying out loud. She's crazy. And my wife is a coffee snob. This girl's got an espresso machine, making like these little espresso shots and all that stuff. I was like, man, I could care less for that shit, man. But she's making coffee. This girl, let me tell you something. This is when you know you're a coffee snob. She got a super dope espresso machine, a small little tiny one. And she used to run with that. That thing cost almost like $150 for that thing, right? And then she wanted another one. So we got another one. And I bought another one. It was like $200 for that, something like that. Something crazy, right? She's got the big one downstairs and she brought the mini one upstairs. What? Like, who do we think we are? Sometimes I question who the hell we think we are. You got a coffee machine upstairs in your room and you got one downstairs. Man, you tripping. And I look at her, I'm like, yeah, every time she does it, she's brewing one. I'm like, and she's like, "What? I don't care." Anyway, I share too much. She's probably like, "Yo, shut your ass up. You're talking way too much." But anyway, that's it for me, folks. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We appreciate you always tuning in with your boy. And we got content coming your way. Obviously, the season is upon us. We're close. We're almost there. Preseason is just around the corner. And we're about to find out what's really good, people. So let me tell you, we're there. Your wife's my wife's twin. Coffee in the bedroom? A coffee maker in the bedroom? Weird? No? Is it normal? Y'all do that? Man, that shit is crazy, man. And she's trying to tell me to bring can you bring the mini fridge upstairs? I'm like, I drew the line, man. That's it. We're done. Coffee here, mini fridge here. Next thing you want to know, you want a mini stove up here. We're not doing that shit. We're not doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? All the food up in the bedroom. We don't eat in the bedroom. I mean, We don't need in the bedroom, but you catch what I'm saying. Anyway, that's it for me, folks. You guys have yourself an evening to yourself, relax, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. And it's your boy Rico. And until next time, it's your boy. And I'm gone. Have yourself a great evening. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.